All right, let's dive into something that feels, well, it feels both super old and really, really relevant right now. And it's all hiding in plain sight inside a phrase you've probably heard, I don't know, a million times.
Yeah, you know the one. We say it all the time, don't we? It's almost become background noise. You see a headline, something feels familiar, and you just kind of nod along. It's a total cliche for sure. But you know, like a lot of cliches, there's something really true buried in there.
But here's the thing. History isn't just handing us a rule book, right? It's not a simple list of do this, don't do that. It's way more subtle. So what if we actually paused for a second and really listened? What's the real lesson hiding just under the surface of that old saying?
Okay, so here's where it gets interesting. The real takeaway isn't about memorizing dates or specific events. It's about spotting the patterns underneath it all. These huge, sometimes quiet cycles of human behavior that are constantly shaping our world, often when we're not even paying attention.
I mean, think about this grand cycle. It happens over and over again. An empire, or any society really, gets its start when people come together around a big idea. There's trust, there's cooperation, but that trust, it's so fragile. And sooner or later, fear starts to creep in. Fear of people who are different, fear of losing what you've built. And what happens? Power gets concentrated, walls go up, literally and figuratively, and that original dream, the very thing that brought everyone together, it just gets forgotten. And this isn't just a story about ancient Rome. Not at all.
And, you know, it's not always this big, dramatic collapse you see in the movies. Sometimes the pattern is way quieter, more like an internal decay. It's wild to think about, isn't it? The very same human hands that can build these incredible cathedrals and fill libraries with knowledge are the same hands that can just let them fall apart, or worse, tear them down in a fit of anger. That ability to create and to destroy, it's inside us, inside every society, all the time.
So you'd think with all our technology, all the news, all the data, we'd be amazing at spotting these patterns. But what if the opposite is true? Could it be that the constant flood of information actually makes it harder? I mean, when every single thing is breaking news, we lose our patience for the long, slow story. It's like we can't hear that deep, repeating rhythm because of all the noise.
So, if we're all caught up in this frantic pace, if it's kind of blinding us, where do we even look for a clearer perspective? Well, maybe we need to turn to a witness that's been around a lot longer than us. One that just watches. A silent observer that sees all our cycles come and go. Man, this is such a powerful thought. Just picture it for a second. Those ancient battlefields where so much happened, a lot of them are just quiet, grassy fields now. Whole cities that were once bustling and alive are now buried under sand. The land itself, it holds on to these memories. It soaks up all our victories and all our heartbreaks. The land doesn't forget, you know, even when we do. And that's the key difference, isn't it? Nature doesn't rush in to pick a side or declare a winner. It just witnesses. Imagine the trees that have been standing for hundreds of years. They've seen it all. And maybe that's the lesson right there. Maybe the first step to really understanding our own history is to just witness it, and to witness ourselves, without jumping straight to judgment. And when we do that, when we really look honestly, this is what we find. We are capable of the most incredible, astonishing kindness. And we're capable of astonishing cruelty. It's not one or the other. It's both. Both are completely true, and both are part of our story. And history, well, it doesn't let us pretend one of those sides doesn't exist. Okay, but this isn't just some story about how we're all doomed to repeat the past forever. That's not it at all. Because history also remembers the moments when the cycle got broken. The moments when someone, somewhere, made a completely different choice. See, these huge cycles, they're not some unbreakable law of the universe. They get changed by small, deliberate actions. Things like choosing to show mercy when revenge would be so much easier, or deciding to protect a stranger instead of just looking the other way, or simply choosing to listen instead of shouting someone down. These are the tiny hinges that swing the huge doors of history. Which really brings us to the core of it all, doesn't it? If looking at the past isn't just about getting a list of warnings, then what is it for? What's the real point for us right here, right now?
Here it is. The real gift of studying history isn't about perfectly predicting the future. It's not even about trying to avoid every single mistake. It's about honesty. History holds up a mirror, and it forces us to really look at ourselves, to see our capacity for amazing good and our capacity for terrible harm, to see our patterns, and most importantly, to see our potential to break them.
And that leads to a really important idea. Being absolutely certain you're right, that you're on the right side of history, without taking the time to actually reflect, that's just another way of being blind. History asks us to do something harder. It asks us to sit with that uncomfortable, uncertain feeling long enough to actually see our own face reflected in its stories.
So, in the end, this question isn't really about the past at all. It's about right now. History is holding up that mirror. It's showing us everything we've ever been and everything we still have the potential to be. And the final choice, the one that can change everything, is what you choose to see when you look in that mirror. And, of course, what you decide to do about it.